Hi and welcome to another edition of Easy English, where we can help you improve your British pronunciation. Today we're looking at the S sound, and it's very important to sound as if you're a native from the British Isles, particularly, for example, on the ends of words when you are saying the plural. Otherwise it sounds like a grammatical mistake. It sounds as if you're saying the single word when you mean a plural word, one rather than many. So S, this is the symbol here in the International Phonetic Alphabet. It's one of the 44 sounds that make up British pronunciation. Now, how do we make that S sound? It's very important to know what you're doing with the tongue, the teeth, the shape of the mouth. Is the tongue high up? Well, the teeth are close together and it's a smile like this. S, s. If you really try and make a loud S sound, you're going to go into a smile. S. The tongue is just behind the teeth but not touching it. It's about midway in the mouth. Make that sound now. S. Good, good. So when you're speaking, the S sound is the difference between singular and plural. It can be, for example, with moth, like a butterfly, a moth. Moth, moths. That S sound makes you sound very grammatically correct. So with Easy English, we show you how to do it, how to form it with your mouth, the importance of listening, so you are aware of exactly what the sound is, the noise, some practice activities. So in this case, the practice activity is to say moth, one moth, two moths, one moth, two moths. If you do that every day for a few seconds, for a couple of weeks, you'll help perfect that S sound. The last thing is we want you to self-check. So look in the links below. It will show you the self-check methods. One very simple way is with a free dictation app, and you can do that, for example, in Mac for Word for Mac. Just press the function key twice and practice the activity. One moth, two moths. Is it typing that? Is it typing the plural? Then you're definitely pronouncing it okay. The other way to do it that's very important, very helpful, is to use a Waveform app that shows a graph waveform of what the sound you're making. Now, I recommend Audacity. There's something about how to get that link below. And as you can see here, moth, there's no S sound on the waveform, but moths, you can actually see the S sound. Now, it's possible that you are making the S sound, but it's very, very low. And the other possibility is that you think you're making the S sound, but you're not. And these apps, such as Audacity Waveform app, will show whether you're pronouncing it correctly with a British accent. Another thing that's important to know, in natural speech, sometimes it's very natural and normal not to pronounce the S. For example, in the sentence, he looks sad. I've slowed that down there and there are two S sounds. Looks, sad. But in natural speech, you won't hear that. You'll hear an extended long S sound rather than two S sounds. And if you go onto Audacity and try that sentence, down here, for example, he looks sad. He looks sad. There's only one long S sound. But if you were giving a talk to a group of one or more people, or in a hall or something like this, you would probably have a little gap, silence between the two words, and break it down and enunciate clearly for a large group. And that's what's happening here. He looks sad. Two distinct S sounds. So you do need to be aware of that. This sound is very important. to distinguish between singular and plural. And if you don't get that right, it sounds like a very basic, simple mistake. And people think, oh, that's not a native speaker, that's not someone who's British. But in natural speech, sometimes you will actually drop the S and on the end of one word. If, for example, if a word ends in the S sound and begins in the S sound, in natural speech, it might just slide together into one long S. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching Easy English. Please do subscribe, like the video, and to make sure that you keep up to date with the latest videos, do click on the bell icon. Do ring my bell.